This is Salamancer, and you are watching SalTV Competitive TF2. I'm going to bring you guys a demoman commentary today. I thought the scout commentary went pretty well, and there was a lot of demand to do exactly that for the future. So we are going to watch me play demo. And demo is actually one of those classes I'm a little bit better at than scout, although I'm not great. I've practiced a little bit more. So the first thing I want to do real quick before we get into the strategy or the do's and don'ts, I'm going to talk about the rollout. And right here, we may have to. There we go, my frame rate was down. We may have to slow things down a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it down to slow speed just for a moment because I want to show you where to place the stickies and exactly how to jump off of them. I'm not the perfect rollout, so you're going to see mistakes from me. There are videos out there that will show you exactly where to roll out, but look at how I laid that right there, and I'm going to be walking just a little bit past it before I detonate. If you do it just right, you actually won't take any fall damage, but I kind of screwed that one up. And then the second one actually goes in that house. Kind of missed it. Third one is going to go pretty much right outside this door. You want to make sure you don't hit your head on those little cross timbers, whatever they are. Man, that sticky looks so cool when it's being fired. It's like rotating. Okay, hang on. Sorry, nerding out a little bit. Jumping over that one, and I'm going to jump and hang time in the air significantly before I take the hit because I don't want to be taking too much damage from it, and I don't want to go too far. It'll just kind of be counterproductive. And now, of course, I am doing really stupid things in the rollout, like trying to walk upstairs. I promise they get better. But here we are going to get out some mid-fight, and so I'm going to talk first about the demo's role at the mid, which is just to do as much damage as you can before a soldier inevitably gets on his face and destroys him. Now, typically, though, you actually want to stay pretty far back and stay alive. And that's probably the most important thing that you can think to yourself if you're just getting into Demoman. If there is one thing that you have to understand, staying alive is the most important. And I'm guilty of this kind of thing, too, where I'll overextend all the time. By overextend, I mean get out in front of my team or get into a situation where I'm going to die. And I do it because it's just like, oh, but I just want to hit that one sticky on these guys. I just want to do a little bit of damage. And turns out that is really not how to play Demoman at all. Also, you don't want to take fall damage on all of your jumps, but whatever. So this is probably an overextension. You saw that scout over there. There's basically nobody to defend me right now, but I will be running back and laying some sticky traps. Not the best idea to be that far forward when the rest of my team was down, but I didn't really pay that much attention to it, so that's my bad. But no, the strategy of Demoman, stay alive, make it very difficult for your enemies to move forward, try to get air shots. No, just kidding, that's not the part of it. And kill yourself, apparently, is the last important part of it. I kind of laughed at that one when I was playing, too. No, it's definitely to try and lock down areas so the enemies can't get through. Like, you see what's happening with New right here. The enemy Demoman is not laying stickies at New. Instead, he's laying them on his retreat route. So he's letting his scout try to get up and finish him off and deal the damage, and he's just trying to lock up and bottle up that scout in a little corner. And that is what the Demoman is just super useful for, is you lay down these stickies and you're like, well, if you want to walk that way, you can. You're just going to die if you do it. So, I mean, go for it. But no, typically you're going to be able to lock down a lot of areas like that very easily. The other aspect to it, of course, is if you're being aggressive, you put out the most damage in the game. Straight up with these stickies, you will just wreck people from long distance, short distance, whatever. You've got an amazing amount of damage output. So you also kind of want to stick with your med a little bit more than I have been so far. And I realize that, so I'm coming back to the med, and I'm like, okay, well maybe I should try and gang up with the core here. I do lay a bunch of traps, and these traps they're not as specially well hidden for my part this time around, but if you can put them above that door, typically when the door opens, you see how it kind of retracts there. Nobody's going to see it coming in, and so I see that shadow of the soldier over there, and I'm just like, okay, definitely detonation time. Got the kill on Coco on the enemy team. I don't remember which one of them was the med, but I'm pretty sure that I did get the med kill there. Right now I'm just looking to make sure we don't have any sort of flankers, back cappers, and I realize, okay, somebody is back here trying to back cap. There's a soldier up there. That's going to hurt if I try to stay in that fight. So instead, I am just going to drop sticks on the point, sit back, and at this point, it's like my team is on mid right now, and they're getting kills, which is great for me. I just have to walk out here, and if the guy decides he wants to try and cap second, I can walk back. I can try to stop this back cap, and I will. Kaboom! Oh, Demoman, you have too much damage. But no, I can stop the back cap, and I can let my team move forward, and because those stickies were on the point, I knew I was going to make them really hesitant about trying to get that back cap. So I did a lot of damage, went in, got the kills. It was pretty cool. Kind of how you're supposed to play Demoman a little bit. Just lay a bunch of sticks down and destroy people. And so now I got to catch up with our med again. I spend a lot of this game actually just trying to catch up with our team because I took the wrong spawns. But this time around it's alright. Typical Demoman thing to do is as soon as you're taking a point, you know, if there's no enemies in the area. Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. Uh-oh, uh-oh. All right, I'm going to need to ask you to imagine in just a second here that Propane Nightmares is going to get played because what a huge air shot. Oh, my God. Okay, of course, that's what I'm talking about. Get those air pipes. Pretty ridiculous, not going to lie. That was totally not aimed at all. I was just like, just pretty much just randomly spamming pills and happened to get the most wicked air shot of my entire career. And I did it live on stream, too, so I felt pretty good about that. But no, I mean, spam and damage out, you know, even if you're a relatively low-skill demo man, as long as you can move around decently and you can stay alive, you can work on that sticky bomb aim, you can work on that pipe aim. Definitely things to work on, along with your positioning. And so I'm going to lay down sticks right at that choke point. Getting pressured by a scout here, I don't like that, but apparently the scout is not deciding to be that aggressive on me, which is kind of weird. I am going to get trapped here in the house, though. Turns out I don't have the world's best movement and positioning, but you look at how many players jumped in just after me, which kept the rest of our team alive really well. So, yeah, as a demo man, if you can take that much attention away, then as long as you can communicate to the rest of your team, look, they're all in our garage right now. They're all in here. They're all attacking me. If you're getting focused and you can manage to dance out of sight and dance out of their range, this is what I was talking about, by the way. I can't catch up with my team. If you can dance out of sight and just stay alive for that much longer and keep covering your retreat with stickies, the rest of your team should be able to clean things up, you know, and call out damage. That's the most important thing, especially at mid-fights. You have to call out when you deal damage to someone, especially if it's a lot of damage. Like, I just did, you know, 60 to the enemy demo, or meds lit, or scouts lit, or, you know, soldier, whatever it is. Whatever you hit, you've got to tell them. And it sounds like my team is in there already, so I've just decided, okay, let's not trap the door up, and instead let's try to deal some damage. Our Uber's in, so basically I'm just providing long-range artillery support. I am going to start laying sticks directly on that point. I want to make sure my players can stand on there without the point being guarded. But I do finally get taken out. It doesn't really matter. The rest of my team manages to carry me to victory. But that's another particularly important thing. So when you're, you know, it's one of those things where you are the class that blocks people from moving places. It's kind of the same thing we were talking about before, but it's another application of that. So instead of just blocking people from coming through a choke point, you're blocking people from standing on the point. So your own teammates will be standing on that point. If the enemy tries to jump on there just to stop the capture, they're going to die because there's sticky bombs covering the entire point. So here we go. I'm going to start laying down sticks. I decided that I really like laying sticks over here because their team is very slow to roll out. So you can't usually get away with that in like an invite game, but I did completely destroy White Power Jesus, so I felt pretty good about that. Don't really know where that name came from, but I'm going to assume that it is meant in the best of trolly intentions. Now that's a decent mid fight for me, but you notice I have pretty much died every mid, I think. Which is not especially good. Sometimes that's not your own fault. I'm going to go ahead and assume that it is my fault because I'm actually pretty terrible at TF2, but sometimes it's not your fault. Like, your team could end up just not being able to protect you very well. And if that's the case, one thing you may want to do is request that the scouts stick a little closer to you at the mid-fight, or at least one of the scouts. It can be good to have that passive scout role, somebody to defend you. You also want to kind of communicate where you are so your soldiers can defend you if you get attacked. I'm jumping in trying to do some damage, and I got a little bit too aggressive there, but I knew we had the Uber, so I was going to be able to take some of that. And now, once again, I can start laying down sticks on the point, and if anybody tries to block that, I can launch him up into the air. Drops down, takes a bunch of damage. I am completely out of ammunition on everything, so I'm probably going to die here. This is a problem with Demoman. If you try to stay in, you don't have any ammo. But you know what? Looks like nobody's able to focus me down enough, so turns out I wasn't able to do all that much damage, but just by virtue of having sticks in the point, pretty useful thing to do. Anyway, you should be playing to have more damage, and if you want to think about how to improve... Oh my god, that pan is so loud. If you want to think about how to improve your aim, aim, of course, extremely important. It doesn't sound like it. It's like, oh, you just left-click, right-click. That's kind of the joke. But, no, you got to be able to improve your aim a little bit here and there, because you know, you've played against those demos in pubs or whatever, where there's a difference between the demo man who just randomly lays down stickies and the demo man who actually aims for you. The demo man who aims for you, it is such a pain. It's ridiculous. You know, you're like, whichever way I move, he's gonna have that sticky under my feet. What do I do against this? It can be tough to deal with that. So getting that sticky aim and getting that pipe aim are extremely important aspects of the game, and pretty much the best way to practice those is MGE mod, at least that I've found. So you get into MGE mod and you just start practicing one thing at a time. It really really helps to spend 30 minutes to an hour just practicing one thing at a time. So you practice your positioning and dodging, for instance, against the enemy first, so that you can stay alive just that little bit longer and be unpredictable. And so once you think you've got your dodging down and you've been, maybe laying down a couple pipes just here and there, then you switch it up and you start practicing pipes. And you just practice pure pipes for like 2 or 3 games in a row, and you don't hit anything else. And then, and this is the thing, some players in MGE mod really don't like it when you use stickies, so you kind of have to ask. Like, if you have a practice partner, then it's cool. But if it's just some random guy you're playing against, you might want to ask him, like, hey, is it cool if I use stickies because I'm trying to practice? And pretty much most of them aren't going to, like, yell at you and say no. And so you can practice your sticks in MGE mod that way as well, and you can just get that aim down. Very, very important to do. Practice against scouts, soldiers, and enemy demo men as well. It will really help you out. I'm trying to save our med. Not going to be able to do it because I don't have the world's greatest aim, but I can hit a pipe or two. And I am going to start oh my gosh, I can't talk. I want to start laying down pipes and sticks everywhere. Not going to save me enough because I actually didn't start early enough on my traps there. Plus, I was too far forward. So you notice that was a big mistake on my part. I was really rooting for Hui right here, by the way. He's on my team. And he, right now, I think is playing on Nitros. So he is a Prem Division player. Pretty awesome that he decided to play a lobby with me. But I was way out of position there. Just standing on second with none of my team with me. Like, you really shouldn't be doing that as demo man at all. And so I'm kind of presenting a bad role model in that sense, being way too far forward. But at least you can learn from my mistake, hopefully. And you can know that, like, okay, well, I should be hitting tab. I should be seeing if my team's alive. And if they're not here with me, I should be backing up. And maybe laying a trap, but laying that trap while I back up. And there goes our med. I did my best, but I mean, it's so hard to hit scouts with those pills at close range. It's never going to be perfect. You can't expect perfect aim, so I could be better, but it can't be perfect. I'm just laying down the artillery again. I should have had that kill, but just barely managed to kill White Power Jesus before I did, so... Oh, it's too bad. I try to get kills, but I typically bottom frag because I'm awful. Nonetheless, it's a fun thing to do, just to get into a lobby or whatever with your friends and play some Team Fortress 2 competitively and pick your class. I do enjoy the demo man. Enjoy it quite a bit because of all the dings that you get when you kill people. It just feels really good to be dealing out that much damage. And I see, once again, there's not a lot of players on last, so I can pretty much just lay the sticks down on it and nobody's going to be able to jump into it. Feels pretty good. 0 to 4 right now, so yes, I did sort of choose... Oh, I've got that cape. Oh, that cape is so sexy. I did sort of choose a game where oh my god, Scout, please stop. I can't talk over that. I just can't. I chose a game where it was probably going to go 0 and 5 because why not? At least it gives me some idea of... I can pretend that I'm good because we went 0 and 5 and I got carried, so you can be like, yeah, Sal's really awesome. Anyway, I decided to take a different rollout this time, left side, and there are a couple different rollouts, so you want to make sure you learn all of them. You don't just want to have one, you want to have all of them learned. And I'm trying to stay alive here with the med, but I just get ganged up on so hard by this enemy team. Don't feel good, man, and what a shot there. By the way, Fusion, I don't know if I mentioned before, I don't think I did, but he is a much better demo than me in this game. I was able to see he had really good pipe aim. I wasn't able to see his positioning as much, but actually that's usually a good thing because it means he's behind the rest of his team. Fairly important thing to do. So I'm jumping in here. I'm going to be getting a little bit aggressive, but I know that if I stay behind this choke point, there's not a lot they can do to me. I can lay sticks if I need to. I didn't actually do it that time around, but I think I will later. Just lay some sticky bombs down at this choke, and if anybody wants to walk through, they're going to lose any overheal they have very quickly. Like this soldier right here, just probably did 100 damage to him with 2 sticks. Feels pretty good. And so I am single-handedly locking this down. I am going to show you a little tip and trick here as we hop over to this side, because you can actually, if you stand right about here on top of that thing, launch pipes straight in that angle, they'll actually roll off into the second point, so you're basically dealing free damage from there. They will roll all the way through the upper, and they might deal damage to anybody who's stupid enough to just stand directly on the point. It's a pretty neat little shot, and there are quite a few of those neat shots. Oh, we get a crit screen. Totally forgot about this. I'm going to be taking down players with the crits. We probably lose our med here, but not before I destroy Fusion. No, I don't think we even lost our med. That felt pretty good. And then we got back cap. That's what happened. That's right. Nice back cap. I enjoyed the crits, but we happened to lose that one. That was pretty much not my fault, though. I'm gonna say it right now. Like, if you've got a crits, oh, that's so loud. If you've got a crits. The demo man pretty much needs to be getting aggressive, so the demo can't be laying sticks on last, which means somebody else has to watch it, and basically we just didn't communicate who was going to be watching last, so nobody was watching last. So the only sense in which that was my fault was that I didn't communicate well enough. Seeing a bunch of players up there, and you hear how much damage I'm doing. I'm trying to connect with the med once again, and this time around I want to stay a lot safer. I definitely want to try and hide behind things, make sure they don't know where I am until I'm ready to lay down some damage and try to get some more heals from the med. I see the demo man trying to aim a stick or two at me, but it looks like he's trying to focus on my med and scouts instead. So I will be... we'll probably be okay, and we've got another crits, so I'm trying to get aggressive here once again. If your med has a crit, you got to be communicating, and you've got to be aggressive. And I'm pretty much going to tell him as soon as we go in a second, but he knows. What like plays in intermediate now, or is it still open? Regardless, he's an ESEA player. He knows when to pop it. So I'm going to go ahead and ask him to pop. I'll take out Fusion. I'll lay down one more crit sticky. I'm going to go for the med. I don't think I get it, though. Instead, I just take out Wowzers, get the domination. Whatever, it's cool. But we did lose our med because their scouts got in around behind, and I wasn't paying attention. Crits can be tough. Very tough to deal with, because you start to feel a lot of pressure as a demo. At least I do. It's like, okay, well, I have to make these stickies count. So, of course, you're going to revert back to the worst level of aim that you have if you're feeling pressure. It's not going to be the best. It's going to be the worst. And that's going to be that. But it's definitely, you need to practice your aim so that when you have a crit, it's just kind of robotic and automatic. And you just, okay, I'm going to shoot that guy. I don't have to think about how to aim it. I'm just going to shoot it. But it's also a problem because you're going to be getting a lot more aggressive than you usually do. And that aggression's tough to play with as well. Anyway, this has been a Demoman commentary. I don't want to take too much of your time because I know that you value it so much. So, but if you have stuck around to this point, I do want to say one more thing, and that is that if you comment on this video, you will be entered into a drawing for a signed item, a signed strange item, probably by Pure or Tyler or maybe like Harblue. I'm not sure which one it's going to be because I haven't gotten it, but I'm definitely going to give away a signed item in one of my next videos. Leave a comment here. Any comment will do. I don't care what you comment, although, of course, more informative and discussatory? Whatever. Discussion comments are encouraged, especially on a commentary video like this. Thank you very much for watching. This has been Salamancer. I hope you subscribe.